Bulavinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news, government to start implementing budget. Biman Prasad maintains media claims. And Sahadri Hospital to focus on people with disabilities.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Smith.
The government will ensure that the new projects announced in the 2017-2018 national budget commences expeditiously and is implemented within the financial year. Minister for Economy Ayah Said Qayyum says they will meet all permanent secretaries from various ministries to discuss the allocations. Shireen Shivan reports.
After intense debate, scrutiny and lengthy sitting for 4 days, the Parliament passed the national budget of around $4 billion last night.
Where we look at implementation and how we can expedite matters and ensure that there is a lot more coordination amongst all the different ministries to get a lot of these projects implemented expeditiously. We also need to ensure that the quality of the services are up to scratch.
Syed Qayyum says groundwork has started for most of these projects. He says this budget is a building block which has been discussed over a number of years. On the other hand, the Shadow Minister for Economy, Aseri Ranrondro, says they expected the budget to be passed.
They got the numbers, but we as opposition also took our time to scrutinize the budget in a given time. There was so
many of the, policy announcements that were made in this budget 2017-2018, we actually gave clues to that about 2-3 years ago. Obviously, the opposition and others who are not necessarily very astute in assessing these policy announcements weren't able to pick that up.
32 parliamentarians voted for the national budget, 14 voted against it and 4 did not vote. The 2017-2018 national budget will come into effect from August 1st. Shireen Shivan, FBC News.
The Parliament had adopted the parliamentary sitting calendar for the period September 2017 to July 2018. The dates were endorsed by the Business Committee on Monday. The new Parliament sitting will officially open on September 4th. The dates were opposed by opposition MP Viliame Ngavoka, who proposed that a sitting be held in December so that the Parliament can be updated on Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama's COP23 presidency.
We will be going on a break from October, November, December, January, 4 months. I understand the Honourable Prime Minister will be chairing COP23 in November. Surely the whole country will want his report when he comes back. We will want to know about the COP23, and he should present that to Parliament. So why don't we sit in December?
The Honourable Prime Minister is the incoming president of COP23. So the actual formal presidency starts in November. Then he has until the next COP, the presidency, which is November the following year. So in October, for example, this year, we have the pre-COP meeting. November we have in Bonn, 2 or 3 weeks. In December, the Honourable Prime Minister is off again to a major gathering where the French are hosting a major gathering. We have various other commitments, and we had clearly stated this to the Business Committee meeting. Of course, the Parliament will be informed about the ongoings of the presidency.
Although the leader of the National Federation Party maintains that the government's public relations firm Corvus Communications is meddling in local affairs, he is refusing to reveal any evidence of this. Earlier this week, Biman Prasad accused Corvus of influencing local media organizations, saying he had proof of this. But despite this allegation being refuted by media organizations, Prasad won't reveal any evidence yet and is also refusing to name the specific media organizations he claims to have proof against. Akosita Thale has more.
I have the evidence. I have the evidence in writing. to prove that COVID
Opposition
is meddling in
MP
local
Biman
affairs.
Prasad still insists he will stand by comments he made in Parliament that he has written evidence to prove Covis Communications is interfering in the country's affairs.
We do have evidence of Covis influencing certain media organizations in the country as to how they need to report and what angle they should take, and that's serious. We want all the media organizations to be independent and report in an unbiased and in a balanced manner.
When asked to show evidence and name the media organizations concerned, the NFP leader refused.
We will produce that evidence when necessary, but we have the evidence. I don't want to name media organizations. I said certain media organizations, and they know who they are.
Communications Fiji Limited, that operates 5 radio stations in the country, told FBC News their newsroom does not get any directives from Covis to cover pro-government stories and anti-opposition stories. The Fijian Media Association says it's not aware of Covis or any politician influencing any newsroom, saying media organizations should not feel intimidated by such political accusations.
We are pressured by government, we are pressured by the opposition party, we are pressured by corporate bodies, we are pressured by public relations companies, we are pressured by NGOs, individuals and entities all the time. But the most important thing is that they must abide by their code of ethics and stick strongly to reporting fairly, accurately, and in a balanced manner.
It's kind of sad that Mr. Prasad and the NFP has made such a sweeping generalized statement against the entire media industry, because we know for a fact that no one tells us, let alone Covis. In fact, we've never met anyone from Covis. I don't know who's leading Covis in the country at the moment or who works for them. And Mr. Prasad should do the right thing. If he does have any evidence, he should provide the evidence so that he can back up what he's saying.
Questions sent by FBC News to the Fiji Times and the Fiji Sun had not been responded to when this bulletin went to air. It's a huge accusation to make by Biman Prasad, one that makes a sweeping accusation against the entire media fraternity, and with no evidence offered or any timeline set to reveal this evidence. The media industry can only hope that this is not preemptive electioneering by the NFP. Ako si Tatali, FBC News.
The next visit of doctors from the Sahadri Hospital in India will focus on people with disabilities. The director of the specialty hospital, Professor Manu Bhargav, says their visit will concentrate on orthopedic deformity and ophthalmology. Sainiani Boila has more.
BCRD Specialty Hospital in India is closely collaborating with the Health Ministry and the Ministry of Women, Children and Poverty Alleviation to identify people with disabilities eligible to undergo operations.
An object is first to visit all these places, screen the patients, find out who can be made able and to what extent, and how the surgeries or the treatment can be provided.
Fiji National Council for Disabled Persons Director General Dr. Sitiweni Anuyanutawa says this is a way forward for the council.
In the areas of corrective surgeries that they are looking at is ophthalmology, which includes visual impairments, and orthopedic surgeries, which for those who have deformed limbs and all those issues that surrounds the bone and all those things.
Sahadri Hospital will conduct screenings in Lambasa, Suva, Singatoka, Mba and Lautoka. The screenings will begin next month along with cultural events to raise medical awareness. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
Still to come, get ready for more cold nights, says weatherman. And golf tournament helps raise funds. Stay with us.
Moala rarara ranalika, au tikongona taon na Singatoka, andou talisaka na wakaronga ng Bull FM, number 2 na sere.
Ya dora subuli kurna bili, iborani batukara hambara binaranga. Total takinan na warong ng Bula FM, number 2 en sere. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 en sere.
A cold front associated with a trough of low pressure is expected to arrive over the weekend. Fiji Meteorological Services Director Ravin Kumar says temperatures are likely to drop below 15 degrees in some areas. Maggie Boyle with the warm-up.
Warm clothing has become a daily essential with our dry season turning a tad cold.
So what we might see over the weekend, the overnight temperatures fall below 18 degrees centigrade in the coastal areas, and in the inland areas we can expect temperatures to be falling below 15 degrees overnight.
And while temps are likely to drop in the coming days, Kumar says we may even hit a single digit.
During June, July and August we see most of the nights are much cooler. This is just because the ridge of high pressure systems normally comes right to the north, as far as Fiji.
The Met Director says that this is normal for this time of the year and comparable to previous years. He advises, though, that you need to stay warm as much as you can and try to keep that pesky cold at bay. We spoke to a few people in Suva to find out what they'll be doing to keep the cold weather at bay.
Stay home. Don't go anywhere.
I'm gonna wear a lot of clothes to stay home and keep relaxing at home and watching TVs.
We'll just stay home, watch movies, trying to be cozy.
Mostly stay indoors and just warm up.
For some, though, that pulling on the bed covers takes on a whole new meaning when you absolutely have to leave the house. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Women in Ba will soon have upgraded facilities. This after a $100,000 agreement was signed between the Ministry of Women, Children and Poverty Alleviation and the Ba Women's Forum. Ministry Permanent Secretary Dr. Josefa Koroivoeta says this will be a major boost for the forum in its bid to better the lives of women in Ba.
It's women leadership on the rise and continuing to rise. And I think the Fijian market has seen some of the excellent Fijian-made products made by the Ba Women's Forum.
Earlier said by our Permanent Secretary, Ba Women's Forum strives to be a model, to be a role model to all women, proving to the world that women can do anything if only they have a desire to do it.
An annual golf tournament to raise funds for children is underway at the Vatuanga Golf Course in Suva. Funds collected by the Fiji Ship Owners and Agents Association through similar golf tournaments over the past 11 years have benefited more than 12,000 children. Savaira Tambor reports.
Today is a very special golf day for all members of the Fiji Ship Owners and Agents Association, as funds they collected go towards the Fiji Children's Overseas Treatment Fund. CWM Head of Pediatrics Dr. Elisabeth Tuimbanga has confirmed they bought oxygen through the fund for children who needed cardiac surgery as well as medicine that's not on the standard list.
I just bought that yesterday for a child who's very ill in our ICU, and even last year we bought medicines towards the cardiac surgeries of about 26 children who were operated upon by the India cardiac visiting team.
The initiative was brought to light after a group of shipping agents executives were discussing a headline of the Fiji Times way back in 2006 which read, "No penicillin for children of CWM." Golf tournament spokesperson Vera Wedlock says the annual event is targeted at $30,000 and is a day that brings together every shipping line to raise funds for this worthy cause.
To meet each other on a personal level and as well as work together without looking at the commercial aspect of things, but more on a corporate responsibility and community and heart, and having the heart to do something about what we believe in.
The Fiji Ship Owners and Agents Association welcomes each and every company taking part and invites other companies to join in at next year's event to assist children in need of medicine. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
Ahead in sports with Jamie, BOG gets underway in Lambasa, but joining us next is Akusita with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening. Coming up, New Zealand announces $15 million financial support. And in growing, Fiji now vote to become town by end of the year. Stay with us.
I'm under a sort of of Neabu Whenever I want to tune in
to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Kano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Leading business tonight, New Zealand has announced $15 million financial support towards the recognized seasonal employer work scheme over the next 5 years. Employment Minister Chani Usamate says this confirms the expansion and growth of this industry. The minister recently represented Pacific States at the RSC Work Scheme's 10th year anniversary in Wellington. Usamate says the Pacific States and the New Zealand government need this working relationship to grow stronger. He also highlighted issues pertaining to fair treatment of its workers and other common issues during the celebration for improving the RSC system. Usamate says for the next 10 years of RSC and New Zealand Pacific States relationship, Fiji requests for justice, fair treatment and good working conditions for our workers. Savanatha now joins us with the latest from the currencies market.
Good evening. Let's look at the performance of the three major currencies which our Fijian dollar is pegged against. When compared to last week on a 5 trading day moving average, the Aussie dollar weakened by 18 points to stand at 0.6238. The New Zealand dollar strengthened 32 points to stand at 0.6487. The US dollar weakened by 1 point to stand at 0.4773. The United States released their production price index, which increased to 2%, above the expected 1.9%. However, this was overshadowed by their monthly budget statement for June, which has decreased from minus $88 billion to minus $90 billion, resulting in a weaker US dollar. That's a wrap from my end. Vinaka.
Thanks, Saven. Now looking at today's exchange rates, the Fijian dollar strengthened against the Chinese yuan and the American dollar to close at 3.25 and 47 cents respectively. And as for regional currencies, the Australian and the New Zealand dollars weakened to close at 61 and 64 cents, while the PNG kina rose to close at 1.34. As for the commodities market, oil prices rose to close at 46.5 a barrel, gold dropped to close at 1,215 an ounce, while silver followed suit, closing at 15.67 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, Navo will be declared a town by the end of the year. Local Government Minister Parveen Kumar says final works are underway. Kumar says they couldn't finish the infrastructure works late last year, which caused a delay in the declaration.
We have done the roadings. The only work that needs to be done is the street lighting. We want to light Navua before we declare Navua as a town.
That's business this evening. Now to the latest in sports. Here's Jamie.
Thanks, Akusita, and good evening. Coming up, the latest from the Battle of the Giants currently underway.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1। इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेफ्रिकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन टोटो ताबुआ के मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
The Vodafone Flying Fijians are hoping to end a 15-year-old drought at Apia Park when they take on Samoa in the Pacific Nations Cup tomorrow. Fiji's last win over Samoa at the venue was in 2002, narrowly beating the hosts 17-16. The teams have played 50 times, Fiji winning 27, while 3 matches ended in a draw. The last time the two sides met was at the PNC last year, where Fiji won 29 points to 16 in Suva.
Into camp for these June tests, we set up goals and our targets, and yes, part of it was getting through to the next World Cup. That was our target as well. and we managed to achieve that last week. And this week we've turned our focus and we'll turn it to defending the title this year, which is a very important trophy for us as well.
Meanwhile, Nandronga hosts Namosi in the Skipper Cup competition final at 3 p.m. at Lawanga Park tomorrow, and you can watch it live right here on FBC TV. The Nandi football side got its BOG campaign off to a high with a convincing 3-0 win over Raki Raki this afternoon. Elvin Prasad scored the opener in the first half at Subrel Park after catching the Raki Raki defense off guard. Crafty Ratu Josepata Ndungudangi and Rusiati Materenga got the other goals in the second half to give the Green Machine maximum points. Meanwhile, defending champions Lautoka has sent a strong warning with a 5-1 thrashing of Ndreketi. The Blues were in fine form against the Northerners and showed why they are tipped to win the tournament. Lautoka's goals were scored by Samuel Ndrundru, Sevak Talisau, Valerio Nawatu, Mohamed Shazil and Sibra Zahib. The Fiji Under-19 cricket team has set its sights on the World Cup in New Zealand next year. The Joe Rika coach side has been training for the past 2 months, preparing for the qualifiers in Samoa next month. Eroni Tuinuku reports.
Focused on the task ahead, these youngsters will have the opportunity to do the country proud by qualifying for the World Cup.
There's a lot of new experience boys there. England team, we're facing England and West Indies, and there's a lot of fast bowler and a lot of experience batting from the team.
Fiji played at the last World Cup in Bangladesh in 2015, and the team is confident of repeating that feat.
Boys are preparing well, aiming to win the qualification in Samoa. And we always told the boys we have to trust ourselves so that we can win the tournament in Samoa.
The team will be playing practice matches for the next 2 weeks before they leave for Samoa on the 4th of August. The side is aware of the challenges they will face in Samoa.
Papua New Guinea and Vanuatu, one of the most improved in terms of the development they have. I think those are the two teams, but we don't count Samoa out as they are hosting. And the main aim to this World Cup qualifier is trying to get these boys to New Zealand the World Cup next year.
The team will go in the tournament as favourites, and from the way things are looking, it will take a brave man to bet against them. Eroni Tuinuku, FBC Sports.
The Baby Pearls have qualified for the semi-finals of the World Netball Youth Cup in Botswana. The Fiji National Rugby League needs around $2 million to host the Tri-Nation Series and to prepare and send the Vodafone Fiji Mbati side to this year's World Cup. With only 3 months to go before the start of the World Cup, the FNRL has been knocking on doors trying to secure the necessary funds in time. Rohit Deo has more.
They have proven in the past that they can perform on the world stage, and hopes are high it will be the same at this year's World Cup.
But well taken by
So far, we've been able to, to organize our team in a manner that is well above the standard that is required. You could see that our 3 test matches so far, the teams have been prepared in a manner that they would deserve.
FNRL is racing against time to get the team in place, and the financial part of preparations is going to be crucial.
The World Cup is just 3 months away, and our boys playing at NRL, they are very keen to come and join us here in Fiji. And even our local boys here, they've seen the changes. They are also, very committed to their training now.
Some relief for the association today, as Pacific Energy handed over more than $48,000.
In the campaign, you will see that every cent, 1 cent of every liter of fuel that is sold at our service station goes towards the support of the Fiji Mbati preparations.
Fiji will host Australia and Papua New Guinea in the Tri-Nations in October, while the World Cup will be held a month later in Australia and New Zealand in PNG. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Under-19 women's football team was thumped 9 goals to 1 by New Zealand at the Oceania Championships in Auckland today. New Zealand made a strong start and scored 5 goals in the first spell to lead 5-0 at half-time. Fiji's lone goal came in the 64th minute from Nassau. Fiji's next match is against Samoa on Monday at 3 p.m. That's it from sports this evening. Join Angie later on with weather. And in the world of the weird and the wonderful, check out the Afghan girls robotics team. That's coming up.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Si kombinasyon mo tikola ndo talita kana Radio Fiji 1 kana Domoy Viti.
Ayaw ko ato sila tali, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu pinasibali, nagudurong barong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na ponga ni BNN.
In new media, business is booming for sleep technology. New research published this week in the journal Brain suggests that the lack of quality sleep could raise your chances of contracting Alzheimer's disease. That problem is creating a whole new tech market and promising ways to get some sleep. Angie joins us now with the very latest in weather.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Well, after a settled period of weather for some time now, we had cloudy periods together with dark rain clouds. Tonight will be another cold one, and don't forget to prepare your blankets for more colder nights. Checking out the scenario in the west, it was partly cloudy with temps reaching the lower 30s. There is showers indicated for tonight. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, clouds gradually cleared with gentle winds, which gave us a pleasant day without much humidity. And up in Vanuatu, clouds thickened with gusty winds. Well, the northerners tonight can expect some light rain. At sea, east to southeast winds 15 to 20 knots with moderate to rough seas. And for the tides, low tide tonight will be at 10:32 with a high tide tomorrow morning at 4:47. The beautiful sunrise will be at 6:32. Also tomorrow, it's looking good for the day bit, but a band of rain moves across Fiji, which means we'll have few isolated showers as evening approaches. Tomorrow's temps, Suva and Ba will be quite cool at 23 degrees. And looking further on to Sunday, conditions will be much of the same. And that, Jackie, wraps up our FBC weather for tonight.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. On Fijian Pulse today, we asked, who do you think will win this weekend's Skipper Cup competition and why?
I think Nandronga will win the Skipper Cup final because of some players, Fiji Sevens players in the Nandronga.
Nandronga is the special team from Fiji and some player of Flying Fiji and Nandronga.
I think it's Namusi because Namusi is my best team in this competition, Skipper competition, and it's a good team too.
Nandronga because I'm from Nandronga.
Recapping the main stories, government to start implementing budget, Biman Prasad maintains media claims, and Sahadri Hospital to focus on people with disabilities. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we are asking, should civil servants be put on contracts like people in the private sector? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, today's shot of the day comes from Kandavu. The picture was taken in Vunisere during the government tour last week by Sioeli Volati. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Nisa Modamanda.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Sicominação Boticola, onde Tale está na Radio 51, que na Domeili.
Kaya kuya sila Tale, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu Tale tajiri ang gitu Venezuela, nagudurong barong na Radio 51, nandumibiti.
Na Radio 51 nandumibiti na bonga ni BNN.